Hi, it's Stacey here from tycoonfactory.com, and I wanted to make a short video today about why you should not take out a business loan. I had a very negative experience with taking out a business loan back when I was 19, and I'll tell you my story shortly. And I'm not saying that the same thing would happen to you. My story is quite extreme, and some of it was down to naivety, but there are other reasons why you should never take out a business loan to start a business in particular. It's a bit different if you've been going a while and you have an established business, but to start a business, this is primarily aimed at. So my kind of experience with a business loan was when I was 19, I purchased a business, and it was a very successful business. It was doing really well, and I paid £60,000 for the stock that was attached to this business. And basically, I was purchasing this item from a factory in China who was the official manufacturer for it. There was a brand attached to the item, and it was the official product, the real product in China. And what happened was somebody else was also importing this product from the same factory, and they had a fallen out with the owner of the factory, and so they went to a different factory in China and asked them to manufacture a copy. So it was a very, very slightly different model, but with the same brand name, same logo, everything. So in China, their product was the fake product. However, what they then did was come over and registered the trademark in the UK, and that made my product the fake product in the UK. And I mean, some of it was down to, like I say, naivety. I knew nothing. I was 19 years old. I knew nothing about trademarks or brands. To me, I just had a product that was selling, and I thought it was great. And, you know, I mean, I think everything happens for a reason, and you learn these lessons as you go along. And luckily enough, I took out a huge business loan, and I was a limited company, so a lot of that got written off with the actual company going under, because I was instantly told I had to stop selling. And basically I went to a solicitor who said, obviously there's a huge case of bad faith there and that I could fight this. However, it would cost me a lot of money to fight, and I was already in a bad position with the business due to the business loan. So I was instantly told I had to stop selling, and I lost my business. Now, lots of it got written off because of the fact that it was a limited company, so the debt went down with the company. However, I had naively put a personal charge on my house as well, and so I lost my home. And I'd just recently been married at that time, and you know, it was a really quite stressful time. Now, I'm a very positive person, and I guess looking back now especially, I just think how much I learned from that whole experience. You know, I learned about trademarks because I had to, it was a necessity, and I've always trademarked my own brand since. But you know, it was a real steep learning curve and quite a harsh way to go about it, really. Now, obviously, this is quite an extreme case. I'm not saying that this is going to happen to you, but there are some other reasons why you should never take out a business loan when you're just starting a business. So one of those reasons is that you are putting your business into debt before you've even made a penny. So you're putting an awful lot of pressure on the business, that you've got to make X amount of money to pay this loan back every month before you've paid any wages to yourself, before you've invested anything back in the business. And obviously the add interests on there, and the interest can be quite high. So you're investing your business growth into a bank, as opposed to back into your own business and your business growth. And I just think that's crazy. It doesn't make any sense at all. So as well as the pressure on the business, you've got this kind of monthly expense that from day one that you didn't really need. You've also got the pressure emotionally as well of thinking, okay, hang on, if I don't make X amount this month, that means my business is running at a loss, like literally from day one. And you can do without that kind of pressure when you're starting a business. I'm a big believer in how much mindset has to play on the successfulness of a business. And you really can do without that from day one, without that extra pressure of thinking, okay, I'm not going to make enough this month to pay the business loan. That means I'm failing and my business is failing. You can do without that. It's not necessary at all. One of the other things is, and I'm reading this more and more often on forums and things like that, is that these loans can be quite difficult to obtain, and quite a lot of companies or banks are now putting regulations in there, or hoops that you've got to jump through in order for them to give you the loan. So they'll say to you, okay, I will give you this money as long as you run this like this, or you do this differently. And you could literally end up running a business that isn't your initial vision. And what I find worrying about that is, as an entrepreneur, vision is the biggest thing you've got. You know, I mean, that is what makes you different, and that what makes you kind of strive for success. If that vision isn't exactly what you'd initially thought, you know, are you going to lose interest in it? Are you going to end up running a business that you're not happy with? You know, it's just not worth it. So obviously you do need some capital to start some businesses, not all businesses. If you do need capital, there's other ways to go about this. So I would personally, if it was me, start with a business model that's not going to cost me anything to start, or is going to cost me very little to start, that I can self-fund. So I actually have a course on how to earn money online or make money online with zero capital. If you're interested in that course, I'll include a link in the description, or you can check it out at www.tycoonfactory.com/free course. So that's the first thing I would do, is I would maybe put a little business into place that's going to make me enough money that I can then kind of use some of that money to start the new business. So that would be my kind of preferred way around it. But there are other options if you need money quickly to start this business. There are plenty of people who are willing to invest in businesses that aren't loans, so they're not people that are looking for interest. These are generally people who would like to partner with you in some way. And the great thing about that is that you can share your skills. So you might bring somebody to the table who has very different skill set to you, or has different contacts to you, and that's great. You know, you can utilize those skills as much as possible. And I just think it's a much better option. If you have got a business idea that's going to be expensive to start up, look for a partner who can invest something in it, as opposed to look for a bank who can borrow you some money and charge you the earth. You know, I mean, there's so many ways around it, but my preference would always be to kind of earn the money yourself elsewhere, and then use that money to invest. Yes, it's going to make you plan a longer term one, but you have the satisfaction that you've done it completely yourself and built it up from nothing, and the satisfaction that, you know, this is something that you've done, and you didn't need the help of the bank. You didn't need to go into debt and put your business under pressure from day one. So I think there's much better ways to go around it, and those are some of the reasons why I would never ever take out another business loan, despite my bad experience. Obviously I had a bad experience that's very different, but despite that, I would never take out a business loan. I would always find the money myself. So yeah, so that's it's a little insight anyway to why I would never take out a business loan, and why I don't think you should. That's not to say that it's never suitable to do that. You know, I mean, if you've got an established business and you're looking for growth, that's a whole different scenario. But when you're just starting out, why put the pressure on your business? It's not needed. So I hope this has been of some help, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.